Hi, my name is Gabriela from Tulip Art Designs, and in today's video I will gonna do a draw with me session from our challenge. And for our first day we are gonna do this one. So we are painting this today because we are getting part of our Valentine's Day in London art challenge. I also challenged myself to use only one color and to do something different to make it more interesting. So if you are a creative and you really need something for relaxation, something to cheer you up, this video is for you. So if you are ready, let's get started. Hi, so today I want to make something nice and special. So it's February and it's Valentine's month, and we organized this challenge with Una, and you can find more details in the description or on Instagram, so probably you already know about it. The first drawing session will be about the London phone booth. So we are celebrating Valentine's Day in London. It's quite a nice city. I just love it, and we chose some red objects to make this month more romantic. So the challenge today is to use only one color. It will be red, as you probably imagine already. And I will show you a very relaxing watercolor technique that you can make even if you have no watercolor skills. So don't be worried. I will show you step by step. This page, you can download it, so go check the description if you didn't do that, and find the coloring page so you can use it for your starting point, or you can also just paint or draw your own style. So everything is absolutely fine, all mediums, all materials, all techniques. So I just want to really stress on this, that you can join the challenge no matter what. So let me quickly walk you through the materials. I have my coloring page that I just drew. If you don't know how to transfer the print on a watercolor paper, I just shared it yesterday on my Instagram page, so you can go and find the reel from yesterday. So today is 9th of February 2023, but if you are watching this somewhere in the future, I am sure there will be a video about this as well. Then my paper is Archie's watercolor paper. It's cold press and it's 300 GSM. Then I have watercolors here, and I use my Winsor & Newton Cotman, which are great watercolors for beginners. I have my Princeton round brush. I have the Snap number 10, but I also have different sizes in case I need one, but I will try to stick to number 10. I have extra palette, I have paper towel to clean my brushes, and of course some water. And my extra tool today is a straw, just normal straw. So let's start finally with the exercise. So what I'm gonna do, I will grab a lot of water and just throw it on my paper like this. You can even grab a bigger brush for this. And really make a pool of water. So I'm just throwing a lot of water, and why I'm doing this you will just know in a second. So a lot of water, then a lot of red paint like this. More. For this exercise, I definitely recommend to use thicker paper because we are gonna use a lot of water. But if you don't have such a thick paper, then you can use tape and fix the paper on the table so it will not fold a lot. So now I will just use my straw and try to make a nice watercolor. So you can see when I blew through the straw, I have nice watercolor marks. So when I don't have the paper fixed on the table, I can turn it and glue the way that's comfortable for me. So if you use the tape and fix your paper on the table, then you have to go around, but it's also fine. So you can see that there's quite a lot of water now. I think I will stop with the straw. We'll clean a little bit. To remove a little bit of the paint, I will just use my paper towel and I will pick up some of this water so it will just dry faster. I will not pick all of the water because I want to just use wet on wet technique in my next step. So let's say like this. Keep in mind that when the watercolor dries, it will be way lighter than it is now. You can already see that it's almost not really visible. So I will prep some watercolor here by adding extra water, and then I will start just tapping with my brush here, and you will see that the paint will go only where you have water and not where it's dry. So I go like this and add extra paint. After this, we will wait for our first layer to dry. And then we will continue with the next layer when we will focus more on the phone booth itself. Here I have some drops of water, so I will just add some paint to them, trying to not change its form. So like this. So I'm just barely touching sometimes my first layer, just to make it more bright and colorful. And if it's dry, you will see that the paint will not bleed, so you have to be fast here. Okay, then I will just add a little bit more, just in the shape of my illustration, my boot, my telephone boot. And then it's time to, okay, maybe just one last touch here. Now I will wait for this to dry before I continue on the next step. Okay, now that it's dry, I will just grab my brush, again add some water here to make a nice red color that I want to use. Then I will just dry my brush a little bit and paint my boot camp like this. So I'm adding extra layer, and this will make it darker than my background, because watercolor is transparent. It allows you to look through it, and it means that whatever color you have under it, you will be able to see it. And in this case, we are gonna just layer more and more of the red, so actually it will get just darker and darker. And here I'm not thinking about how to combine colors. That's actually the most relaxing part, because you are just adding these reds one on top of each other, and you don't think about the composition or the shadows or the color combinations, because it's only one color and we just keep going. The second thing I will do is make my mixture more concentrated and go again inside, and maybe sometimes I will paint only the around the edges like this, or here. So you can see that I will have a bit darker, a bit lighter reds, all these different values of reds. Like this. Then I want to just make this. And I'm not bothering when my paint bleeds, because here I'm just throwing paint again and again and again without waiting for my previous layer to dry. So here you can see the paint bleeds inside, but here where my background is already dry, my paint will not bleed. Then I grab more and more concentrated paint and go next to the edges like this. So you can see that there's quite a contrast between the telephone booth and our background. So you just go in again and again with some paint and you add it where you feel good. Like for example here, I am adding a bit darker around the windows, on the door, like this. And from time to time I just look like from far away to see if I need more or if I want to spread around something, like for example here. And I think that's it. That's our first day from our Valentine's challenge. So Valentine's in London. It's quite nice, and I really enjoyed it because I just did something new. I used only one cover, so the new thing was using a straw. I used only one cover, so these were two things of my challenge, and I just enjoyed it a lot. If you paint it, you can always share it with us and tag us on Instagram, or if you are not a social media person, then you can always send me an email. I'm just by myself here, so it might take a few days, but I will get back to you. That was it for today. I hope you really liked it. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed it. I would love to see your creations, even if it's not like mine, but even if it's your own style, and I want to encourage you to use any materials. One more time, you can find the printable of this coloring page in the description, so don't forget to check this out and grab it immediately. If you think that this was a nice video, I would love you to subscribe for my channel and like this tutorial so I can keep growing and creating stuff for you. See you next week with our second day of our art challenge. Happy drawing! Bye!